Hello. So, my goal in the class was to basically try to not wait till the last minute for everything and really strive to get an A. I just looked at my average, and my average is, I believe, a 92.5, which isn't bad per se. It's technically a B, but that's not what I had my goal for. Now, I do still have to do the exam tonight and probably the final next week, because realistically I have to, I believe, get a 98 or higher on this exam, which is possible to be opted out of the final, but just be prepared. So, like I said, my goal was to get an A in the class. I still believe that in my mind, I'm going to say that I actually achieved this. I tried to not be so stressed this semester, which, I mean, stress is just inevitable. Especially when you're working a full-time job and you're also doing like 15 credit hours of school. It's a challenge. I ended up dropping in class just because I ended up not being able to do the assignments on time, and to me, I feel like a failure because of that. I know that I'm not, because I mean, stuff happens and I can always take it later. Obviously there's a money waste when you do that because school is so darn expensive, but I had to do it so I can actually focus on the other classes more. It's not like this class wasn't important, but I do know that I can take it down the road. On top of that, I know there was a few nights that I was doing assignments last minute, or the day of, or the day before. A lot of the reading learn smarts were done the night before, but that was just because in my mind I wanted to have the information still in my mind before the quiz and not like have it there like a week ahead and then, although I forgot the information, but that's just me. I ended up having a death in the family this semester, so that wasn't really too hard. I mean, I personally just, it was for my mom that I wanted to be there for, so there was that. And basically I just had to get over my own motivation problems. I think I struggle with staying motivated sometimes, especially when I feel like that I'm already struggling, and it gets to the point where I feel like I just don't want to do it anymore, and I have to try to convince myself to do it. So I believe that was a problem I faced. I really did try this semester. I had a little bit of a moment where I wasn't trying, and I'll admit it. I was just kind of going through the motions, like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll go to class, maybe not. And I didn't go to class for a few classes. And there was one week where I was sick. But because of that, I missed out on the reading quizzes. I missed out on a couple analytic memos, which obviously are nice points to have. So there was that. But towards the end, I feel like I came back. I feel like I'm closing out the semester strong, and I think that's important. So I'm gonna say that my goal was a success, even though if I don't get like the actual big A, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I do think going into the future, I probably need to try to prioritize myself better. I really try every semester to do a planner, but for some reason I never stick to it. I mean, it ends up being a waste of paper. So I ended up not using it this semester. I think if I actually was to be more organized in the end, and I would probably be able to pull it off better. So, with that said, I'm going to say my goal was a success, even if, like I said, even if I don't get the A, because I did try. And I believe in the end that's what's most important. So, moving on to the second part of this, which I'm not gonna lie, I think I recorded this about 5 times because when I get to this part I start struggling. So I really enjoyed the class, and I'm gonna say that I did. I think people they were very encouraging, especially when we talked about our goals. I believe that learning about human development was very interesting. It kind of took me back to some psychology in like high school, but I feel like I learned more about it than what I did in just that class. I believe that this class has probably helped me improve with some of the things, like the goal itself. Like, yeah, we made the goals, and some of us may have made it, some of us may have not have. But the fact of, like, just making the goal was, like, really good for me, I think, because I really don't make too many goals for myself, and I believe that I need to start, especially after making this one this semester, doing that so I can actually achieve some things and do what I need to do in life. I believe probably being a teacher, that's something that's probably very important to be able to accomplish, is actually creating a goal, setting a goal plan, and, you know, making sure that it's measurable. Also, I believe that's something that needs to be passed down to children, just because, you know, they need to know how to set themselves up for success. And I think anyone can actually benefit from that. I believe that that was one of the most important ideas to me for some reason. I don't know if that sounds odd, but just be able to, because I don't have many classes that just sits there and says, okay, first things first, make a goal. Okay, and I was a little weirded out by that. But, you know, I figured it was an education course, and that was why. But so there was that. I also believe that learning all the different structures of cognitive development and how people just develop in general was really interesting to know, just because I think that you can actually kind of go back on yourself and like, oh, hey, when I was doing this, I was probably in this stage of development. Or, you know, you can kind of go back to your high school self and really think about that. Or middle school self. I also believe that it was, trying to find the right words, I guess. It's important to know how to identify different ideas in school, when you're teaching in school, I mean. Just because you're going to see different age levels and you're going to see different development stages. And because of that, you might want to know, like, how to react to certain situations. Like, a kid gets in a fight, what do you do? Or if a kid seems to be alone and by themselves and not talking to anybody, what do you do? So I think that's ideas that all of us probably benefit from this course, especially if we're going to go into the teaching profession. And myself, I'm going to be an art teacher, which my understanding from this program, I would be able to teach at any school, which is good because there's only one art teacher per school. Trust me, I'm not picky right now. That aside, also, I don't know, I just think that was really important to know and to be able to learn that, so that we can see a situation and be able to react to it, hopefully properly. Also, I think that we learned a lot this semester by how people grow and how they learn and stuff like that. I believe the interviews was an interesting way to go out and actually see the different development stages. Just because, I mean, it's very odd to like go and be like, hello baby, let me interview you. No, I'm kidding. it's different to actually just sit down with people and actually talk about them and talk about like what they're doing in their life and ask them questions about it. You know, a lot of the people that I interviewed was either family or friends. And the baby one just I just thought it was kind of funny because I've only seen the girl a few times because obviously I'm busy, her mom's busy. You don't get to see each other that much. But the fact that I actually saw the stage of where she's at and she wasn't quite there with the object permanence yet, and to go back now and do it, she actually is. Because she's, I guess, grown since the beginning of the semester. So it is kind of interesting to see just over the course of a couple months how fast a baby's mind can grow and how fast that they can actually develop. Oh, I'm over time. Oops, sorry. But yeah, basically to wrap this up, I believe that a lot of the ideas that we learned in class with the goals, the interviews, and the just learning about different developments actually can help us know about ourselves and know how to progress in the future. I will definitely try to do the goals on my own to be able to try to better myself in some things, and hopefully try to make them happen, and definitely use the ideas of the development to see that in the real world. So thank you for the class. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure I'll see you in the future. Bye bye.